Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a Ko-Fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Felis Mengus, Smith Tools and Purchase, Level Plain Poem, Vitali Z, Colton James, FE Patriot, Thomas van der Zander, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Mir in the Shire, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, The Name's Barely, JMels24, Unamento, Iron26, Retro Bill, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Hairy Blade, Mobile Mac 777, Rob W, Del West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Yun Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Links to Patreon are below this video. And with that, I'll hand across to whoever is in G+ and Discord, so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show. Left me with a big blister.
How can a microphone give you a blister? I don't even want that.
Somebody had put some sellotape around it, presumably in 1985, and then when I've come to get it off, I've heated it up with the heat gun, aka a hairdryer, and then I've rubbed it off. But to do so, it's taken a lot of, vigour. So it's caused the blister. That sold. That mic sold this morning at 1 a.m. or 1:30 a.m.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it was wrapped in cellophane from freaking 1985?
Yeah, I'm guessing it was from 1985. It's a 1970s microphone, so I can only assume that at some point in its life, somebody's put sellotape around it because they had the wrong clip and it wouldn't sit in the clip properly. So then the sellotape or masking tape or whatever it is, like electrical tape, that's it, I'll get there in the end, had shrunk. So over time it had presumably gone all the way around the mic, and over time it's shrunk and shrunk and shrunk, and then left the glue in the in-between bit, which looked horrible. But yeah, I just rubbed it off and then polished it. Right, Fisherman in a Box made a video. Can I just play it?
This to our ground stations on Earth.
You're in a religion where you think you're on a ball flying around the sun.
Huh?
You're in the one world religion of heliocentrism. So in your school, they taught you were on a ball going around the sun.
We're getting closer and closer to #1 and counting down.
No, don't play music. I'll get copyright. No.
Or they lay me to rest. Gonna go to the place that's the best. Soil in the sky, is that correct? Going up to the... how you want me to sing it?
Yeah, for the heliocentric Christian.
Yeah.
Soil in the...
Get this. I don't understand.
Billy Graham.
The Bible teaches that...
on other planets. That's the silliest thing I ever heard. Hey, heliocentric Christians, get with it. None of that's in the Bible.
The Bible teaches that the ultimate goal of the true believer is going to be a place called heaven or paradise. It's not going to be a place where we sit under palm trees and have a beautiful girl fan us, as some people envision heaven. It's going to be a place where we work.
What?
And I think that we are going to be able to go from planet to planet and from one part of the universe to the other, and I think we're going to be able to go as fast as thought. And I think we're going to have other worlds to conquer. We're going to have tremendous enterprises that we're going to do on other planets. And I think there are many indications in the Bible about this. We're not going to go and just sit down and rest and relax. Now, the first few years, I'd like to rest a while and play a little golf.
Sure.
And I hope they have golf balls. And
they have a great course. They have a great course.
Because I'll miss it if we don't. But I asked my wife one day, who's a great student of the Bible, I said, Ruth, do you think there's going to be golf in heaven? She gave a marvelous reply. She said, if golf is important for your happiness, it'll be there.
Can't argue with that.
I have come to the conclusion that neither lying nor deception are inherently immoral.
You know, there's there's a word for people that deny reality because it's offensive. That word is retard.
Another word for people who deny reality because it's offensive. That word is retard.
So that was Billy Graham?
Say again?
So that was Billy Graham in that interview. I wonder why my brother is so resistant for flat Earth. He's a big Billy Graham guy. I didn't know Billy Graham was a planet-to-planet guy.
Clearly so. Yeah, he's obviously taken the bit of me saying the soil in the sky lyrics, and then he's put the actual music to the back of them. But it's like, no, I can't get away with that. Hopefully I didn't trigger any copyright strikes with that.
When was that video? Because I didn't get a notification that he had a video.
2 days ago. Presumably he made it on the evening after we did the live show on Friday, where I was quoting Soil in the Sky lyrics. Not soil in the sky, spirit in the sky, I should say. I just changed the words to soil.
Yeah, classic. I like that move. Him and Jin have been butting heads, I noticed.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it's not like I shouted at him on Friday.
Jin is the old school guy, and if you listen, I went to 24/7 the other day, and they just argue old school. They go through the whole rigmarole of outer space, and instead of just debunking it like we do, like can't have gas pressure without containment, they just want to go through it all.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of the purpose. I was explaining this, I've said this 3 times now, over curry a week ago or 10 days ago, because Craig was pointing out that the panel's just changed, right? We've got different people on the panel now. So where there was somebody that was waffle on quite a lot, that was Brian. Brian's now got the hump, but Jin's here. So you're like, okay, great. So we've got Jin instead. And his place is to keep up the old school rhetoric because he wants it, right? And I don't. But in order for that to be made communicatively clear, I need somebody to say, no, I want to keep saying that we see too far. And I need to keep saying, well, no, we don't see too far. There's no too far. The too far bit's based on calculations in Earth curve maths that suggest where you should see to. That's the limitation. So saying too far is an outrage to my ears. But if I haven't got a Jin to say that, it's not communicated to the audience on a regular basis. So he's very useful. But by the same token, when he's like, no, straight through the top of me, I'm going to get pissed off right quick with him.
Well, I had a conversation with him, and he felt when you say, I'm leading you, he says, well, it appears when somebody says that, like, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I said, no. I said, that's not it at all. You just got to let Nathan lead you, and there'll be a time when you lead him. But it's a show, and you got to remember that.
Yeah, well, up until that point,
he understands.
He'd laid out his position, and I'd listened to it. Even though I'm seething, I don't want to hear it, right? But I do, if you know what I mean. When I say I don't want to hear it, I mean from my mental position, I don't want to hear his position ever again. But in order to make that communicatively clear to the audience, I've got to get someone else to actually put that position to me so I can oppose it. I need the opposite being put across for me to challenge it. If it's never there, we just talk about what we talk about and nobody picks up the distinction between old school flat earthers that are talking about seeing too far and debunking bloody cameras on the moon or whatever, you know, and us saying there's a Narnia region that doesn't exist and we measure Earth flat. You need the contrast. But after listening to Jin go through his position, and then I start saying, well, no, that's not how we need to do it anymore. And then he starts going, no, well, I know what I'm doing. It's like, don't take it personally, Jin. I'm doing a bloody show. I'm communicating to you. I'm not disagreeing with you, although I am directly disagreeing with him. It's nothing to do with him. It's his position representing everyone else who wants to do the exact same thing. And that's useful. But he takes it as I'm directly challenging him, like I care what Jin personally does. I don't. But I want the audience to have that communicated to them via Jin. That means that he's going to be in contrast to my position. You can't just go, no, well, I do what I like. Well, I've been doing it this long. It's like, yeah, I got that the first 6 times. Shut up.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got to get used to it. But I had a conversation with him, and he just felt like he's trying to make me look stupid. I'm like, no, that's not it at all. It's a show, and you're contrasting him, so you just got to let it play out.
I want him to be contrasting me. I want him to keep it up as long as he feels it's necessary. When Jin goes, you know what, you're right. What am I doing spending half an hour arguing about seeing a distance to a geometric horizon below the surface level that we measure flat, when we're measuring our height perpendicular to a flat plane for a parallel eye level with the surface level? There's 3 flat Earth prerequisites before I've even done anything. It seems redundant to argue about how far we're seeing. When Jin says those words, I'll know my job is done in that regard, because he's representative of the audience. You represent the everyman. I'm sure you realise that, Neil, right?
Of course.
Right. So how you react to this stuff is very important. Same with Jin, but he just needs to take it a bit less personally. Like, I am directly challenging him, and I'm calling him out by name, but like I say, he's like with the Nielsen ratings, he's representative of like 15,000 people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
On the other hand, that 15,000 people would be the same. They'd go like, no, I know what I'm doing. I've been a flat earther for 10 years. I know how to argue about seeing too far and not being on a ball. And if we disprove we're on a ball, we're proving a flat earth. I know what I'm doing. That is going to be the sentiment of the people who hear the show and go, I don't want to do this. Now, there's another branch that are like, but you're changing the format. It's like, the namesake of the show, Flat Earth Debate, is periodically going to show, if you went back through all the shows, how the argument has changed from a debate where we haven't got a clue what we're talking about to a debate where we know absolutely what we're talking about to pointing out there isn't any debate anymore. But there's still going to be a quote-unquote debate for as long as there's heliocentrism. So from that perspective, the show's never going to change its name, and me saying there is no debate is us stating categorically what Earth is, flat. Because it is. That doesn't alter that people will come along and go, no, it isn't. So there's a debate, right? Because people come along and say, no, it isn't. Now, often in debate, there's a side that is right and the side that's wrong. And in other debates, there's a circumstance where there is no right or wrong. There's just a matter of opinion on which viewpoint is more pleasurable to the audience. This isn't the second. This isn't the latter. It's the prior. There's a very cut and dry, is it one or the other? And there's a reason why we've got all of the propaganda around Flat Earth and all of the roads from conspiracy leading to Flat Earth and a need to ridicule Flat Earth. Speaking of which, to find that video just before the show started, I thought, I need to watch that Fisherman in a Box video. I've been meaning to watch it. I saw it actually appear on my thumbnails and I didn't watch it. So I'll just do a quick search by my own name to find it, because I knew that it got me in the thumbnail, therefore it's probably got me in the tags or me in the title or me in the description, so I'll find it that way. So I type in my name, search by last week, and shock and awe, there's Simon Dan talking about, what, about him not getting Coriolis effect correct? Him measuring Earth flat 1,000 times? No, about my book. The lowest hanging fruit they can grasp for to ad hom me rather than addressing the actual debate. That isn't a debate anymore, because they can't, can they? So what can they do? Attack me in my book situation, saying the community's in uproar. That was what was on his thumbnail. I'm being extorted, which I was, past tense. It's like, yeah, way to get a 2-month-old rhetoric out there, Dan. Meanwhile, Earth's still measured flat by Dan 1,000 times. Is he addressing that? No. He's addressing the book. Love it. Thanks for the free advertising, Simon Dan. Shame you couldn't actually address the fact Earth's flat. Coward.
And this is one of his new videos that you stumbled across?
Yeah, out in the last week. So to try and find that Fisherman in a Box video, I searched, with the filter of within 1 week. So, I just scrolled past it and just laughed when I saw it. I'm like, yeah. A bit like when Shane came by the other day and said, I want to debate you and I couldn't get in. No, you need to be voice verified. Oh, well, I'm here now and I'm not going to be coming in because you'll waste my time. You mean you don't want to come in? You bleeding coward, projecting that onto me, saying that in your thumbnail. Okie dokie. What is it you want to talk about? Is it the nature of our reality and how flat we measure it? No, it's about the book. That's what they want to talk about because the community is in uproar. Yeah, you need to make it about a community called Flat Earth. So then you can ridicule and mock the community rather than how flat it's measured. You need to make it about everything except Earth measurements. That's what's happened for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I was waiting for one of them to go to the book and talk about how everything's falling apart. But our best thing is to not even address it. I wouldn't go to that video.
I just see it as free advertising. It's like, great. So the more times they cover it, the more people are aware of the book. There was a point where Brian was like, you guys are doing this deliberately, aren't you? Like, you just want people to react because it's fantastic advertising. And I had to take him to one side and go, no, actually, Brian, I have been shafted. They are trying to shaft me. This isn't just a ploy to get free advertising. I am genuinely heartbroken. I am going to disown them. That is the situation. It's not just done for a bit of publicity. But in Brian's mind, it's like, yeah, but you couldn't do more to get better publicity. And he was right. So when you look at the reactions, you're like, yeah, from that perspective, no such thing as bad publicity. It's good advertising. People are talking about the book. It's not even out yet, and people are acutely aware of its presence. It's given off an aura before it's fully completed. I love it.
Not just Brian. There's been a few other people that they still swear that, no, this is a publicity stunt. They're trying to get, sales on books, and you'll see QE will come back. I'm like, it's really not like that, guys.
No, I've removed him from all the Skype groups. That was something that idiot. You just you don't realise that I own you in terms of your community place. That's QE, right? So all of the chat groups, I set them all up. So like Quantum Eraser channel on Skype, that's mine. So I kicked him out of it. Fuck off. Get out of this group, you stupid wanking thieving bastard. So what are you going to do now? Now you've got no access to the hundreds of people I've built in this community that I gave him access to. You thought because it was called Quantum Eraser channel chat that it was yours, you stupid fucking retard. No, it's mine. That's why I kicked him out of it.
Yeah, a few people left him comments, and I found it funny how he corrected somebody's spelling, because he said he hasn't heard from Quan Maresi yet. He's been quiet, but the guy spelt it quite. And of course, QE jumped all over that. I sent them to you in your little messages. You'll see them.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen, but if I had, I'd have ignored them. You can hear my frustration already. I'm in a pretty good mood. So after, 9 months of flogging microphones, I'm finally breaking even. Now, there's been hints of that. Again, mentioning Craig a couple more times. So in the curry a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I'm finally in the black. I'm in the black. You know what I mean? From churning microphones, buying them, selling them, buying them, selling them. And I said to Craig, I don't know how I'm paying my mortgage. The whole point of buying these microphones was to generate a bit of income from the profit, right? So that the profit could go to paying my mortgage. So how I'm not in massive amounts of debt is beyond me. And the only thing I can think of is that because I've been buying microphones, I haven't been buying other things, which has meant that I've saved the money that I would have typically spent on maybe other stuff. But then I think, well, what do I normally buy? Very little. But regardless, at the moment, I am actually genuinely in the black. So it did go down again right after speaking to Craig, because I just had to buy in a few more and obviously get a couple of them repaired, one still with Craig. But there's half a dozen maybe sold over the weekend. Had a really good weekend, and 2 of them were really expensive. Like one of them was £100 and one of them was £180, and that put me into the black with about, I don't know, 40 maybe microphones that are on eBay for sale, and they're ranging from £5 all the way up to most expensive probably £100. I'll have a look in a minute. Maybe a bit less than that, but around that sort of money. So there's a variety of stuff that will hopefully keep me paying the mortgage up until Christmas, or up until when the book comes out, which is probably going to be Easter. I'm on the progress that my wife's making. And myself, I'm still writing bits and bobs when I go to the classes with my eldest daughter especially. I get an hour and a half each week on a Tuesday to just sit and rattle off whatever's interesting that's been pointed out from my wife. So she'll go through a chapter and go, why don't you mention this person, as that's directly related to that sort of time period that you're talking about, based on that sort of housekeeping question that she's transcribing at the time. So you're like, yeah. I'll talk about that particular person and an anecdote about it.
Well, he seems to think he's on the truth side. Told the guy, there's not two sides, just the truth, son. Yeah, well, the truth is not on your side either, buddy.
Truth of what?
Of what happened with the book.
Sorry, who cares what anybody thinks is the truth in that regard? The only person that has any opinion or any legitimate right to have an opinion on it is me. Like, what you think that someone else is in the right? I couldn't give two shiny shits what you think. All right, have you got any influence over it? No. All right, so you're just airing your opinion on the matter, like it has any influence whatsoever. No, it doesn't. Yeah, the only people that are concerned, or the only people that are of concern in this circumstance, is the people who tried to shaft me and me. What's happened to the people who tried to shaft me? As they've been excluded from my life permanently. That's it. That's the end of the discussion in that regard.
Yeah, but see, a lot of people on the side where they want to hear from Huey and Adam, and I'm like, why would you want to hear from them? What can they possibly say? Are you not paying attention?
They can say, we offered to help, we helped, but then after helping, we felt that we gave so much help we deserved it, as being as. Nathan told us to go fuck ourselves, and then he departed from our company permanently. That's the end of the story. Trumped up pair of secretaries. I've listened back, the gaslighting pair of pricks. Our book, my ass. They think that they put all the input in. QE is as dry as a nun's vagina. Most of his boring shit will be removed from my book. Because it's boring, and it's riddled with citations that are just links to other websites. Does he not understand what a fucking book it is? Does he think it's a website? Moron. No, you don't need links in a book, stupid retard. That's not what books have. How many fucking books have you read that have got links on it? You know what a book is? It's made of paper, you fucking spaz. You think it needs a link in it, dick shit? No, retard. So I've had to remove all that shit because it's garbage. And he's got no fucking stories to tell. Has he? He's got nothing of interest. He's got the scientific method and a few fallacies. And that's it. The rest is sources from other people's sites that he's put links in. You're like, that's what your contribution is. You think you wrote it because you put links in a book? Dumbass. Meanwhile, while my wife's transcribing it, she says things like, when it gets to you talking, it's really easy to transcribe. When Adam waffles on endlessly and stutters around a sentence that is malformed, it's hardly even coherent, let alone transcribable. QE, on the other hand, endless swearing and profanity. And then a link. But they, in their deluded mind, think it's that they're just retards.
That's why Refracted came in that day while it was going on and said what he said. Like, it's turning it into a book of citations, and it's really not a book, and everybody got on him for that.
Yeah. But on the other hand, on the upside, my wife and I are now of the opinion that it's going to be a far, far better book for having them excluded from the process. And yes, I can hear in QE's tone as I'm listening back to the recordings, where he's trying to retain ownership of my fucking IP while he's doing it. So he's obviously got it in his mind he's going to steal it, and you can hear it in what he's saying. Thieving cunt.
I heard it when he insisted that Adam put down that Mae West would be blushing. And he was really insistent that Adam put it in no matter what you said. That's when a little bell went off in my head, like, what's going on here?
Oh, really? Did he think it was his? Oh, you deluded retard. How wrong are you, QE? No, what's actually happened is you've been excluded from all of the groups I own and permanently from the community I built that I offered you to be a part of. What's that? You offered me some help and now you think you own my IP? You deluded spastic. Now you can go fuck yourselves. Both of them. Pair of retards. Thievers. That's all they are. Thieves. Trying to steal my shit because they've helped, in quotes. All right, that gives you justification to thieve my shit, does it? Thieving pair of cunts. No, so to summarise, no, this isn't a publicity stunt. Far from it. I'm still, when it comes up, I think, no, I've got over this. I'm all right. I'm past it now. No, I'm not. I'm absolutely livid with the pair of them. If I'm really honest, I could string them both up. But yes, you're right, Neil.
They persuaded Brian, that's for sure.
Persuaded him what? That their help means they get ownership? Well, then he's as deluded as they are.
I mean, I can only call it the way I see it. I haven't seen him here anymore. So obviously he's been persuaded that. And the last question he gave me was, how much of the book did Nathan write, Neil? And I was like, are you serious? You're asking me how much of Nathan's book did Nathan write? Think about that, Brian.
Yeah, it's just delusional. Like I say, fortunately, because I've been shafted and stabbed in the back plenty times previously, I recorded it all and can now transcribe all the bits I want to keep. And I don't have to worry about stupid idiots like Adam and QE saying, it's mine, I don't want to lose that bit in your book. Oh, really? Well, that's tough shit. Now I don't even have to concern myself with it. I can just do whatever I like. Not that I couldn't anyway. But they were under the misapprehension that it was theirs and somehow that they got to decide what goes into the final draft. Like you say, oh, well, I've decided I want Mae West in there. Do you, spastic? Well, that worked out well, didn't it, you fucking retard? Also, it tarnishes anything that they may produce in the future. What's going to happen if QE does decide to bring out a book? What is the first thing everybody's going to say? Is this the one you stole from Nathan? That will be the first thing that gets put to him, won't it?
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's right.
So he's scuppered any chances of ever writing a book because the first thing he's going to get accused of is plagiarism and theft. Is this the one you stole from Nathan? That's the first words out of people's lips if he ever decides to produce an actual book of his own, as opposed to parasitically trying to steal mine. So he'll just get accused of plagiarism immediately before anybody's even read it.
Well, if he does decide to write a book, he could title it Citations.
Citations by Quantum Eraser. There'll be blue-coloured text if you buy it in paperback that you can't press. Like, seriously, what kind of a Mongol thinks that a book, that's something you hold in your hand that's made of paper, needs links? Dumbass. Anyway.
Well, what are we going to do today?
We're doing it. This is it. Talking about the state of play over the weekend.
I haven't heard from Discord. Are they plugged in?
Yeah, I should think so. I'm flashing away in there. Hello, Discord. Should really start recording and shit. Oh, I am. Happy days.
Good morning, good morning.
Morning, Surf Daddy.
I put Fisherman in a Box link to his song about soil in the sky.
Yeah, we played it already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I just fast forward the soil in the sky bit because it would have got me a copyright strike. Not that this video is not going to be demonetized already with me swearing and effing and blinding and calling them C's and F's and...
Surf Daddy, I was not aware that Billy Graham was such a heliocentrist.
Yeah, I want to like total clip of that talk alone. It absolutely floored me.
What, some Christian guy talking about planets? Why is that?
Yeah, but no, it's not that, Nathan. He was one of the biggest guys. I mean, Billy Graham was big. I mean, for him to turn around and say the things that I heard him saying on Fisherman's video that you played, it's like, that's not even scripturally correct. Like, where are you getting this from?
From the Roman Catholic Church, the ones who invented heliocentrism. Where the hell do you think he's getting it from?
Not from Bible,
He was on Johnny Carson and just started going off about imagining going to planets and it's if you didn't play it, you should find it again and just play that segment. It's mind-boggling
we did.
From a Christian perspective. If he's preaching that,
that is a lever we should start pulling on, right? Because there's a load of deluded, let's be honest, heliocentrists that think they're atheists. No! Where do you think your heliocentric religion and worldview came from? Think it came from atheists? No, it came from the Roman Catholic Church. And we're going to lean into that. You just glorified Christians. That's all heliocentrism is. It's just an extension of the Roman Catholic Church's rhetoric. And that makes everybody in England, as participants of the Roman Catholic schooling system, that's Church of England schools, that's what they're practicing when they think they're on a ball flying around the sun. They're just exercising their Christian viewpoint from the Roman Catholic Church, delivered to them by Big Daddy government via their Church of England education, here in England, obviously.
I think that's a good idea. I didn't see it that way. You're absolutely right. They think they're atheists? Sound like a Roman Catholic Christian to me.
Yeah, they are. Well, that's where it came from. It's like denying the origins of heliocentrism, is there? Now, obviously, there's going to be a bunch of crackheads that haven't got the slightest idea where their religion and worldview came from, and they just think, oh, that's just how it is. Big Daddy government told me in school I'm on a ball flying around the sun, therefore that's just how it is. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. Oh, really? But you believe in this church rhetoric of flying around the sun on a ball in a sky vacuum, do you? Really? How deluded are you? Obviously not privy to the methodology of primary source research, or you'd know where your bleeding worldview came from.
Yeah, he had himself zipping from planet to planet with tremendous speed. Like, it's crazy when you think about it, because it's nowhere in the Bible does it say that. It actually says the opposite. It says he'll give you rest unto your souls, not come here and I'll put you to work.
Well, I mean, he might have a new bar that needs fitting or something. I don't know. Maybe he's got a new deck that needs to be hammered and nailed together. God's a busy man.
The best I heard was, for all eternity, we will be learning about the wondrous God that created us. Not zipping to planets, lights in the skies that were there for times and seasons, like the Bible says.
I'm starving. I need to eat some food. I haven't got time. It's 5:02. I've been waffling on. I thought I was supposed to get a pot noodle and I've forgotten. Hey ho.
I'm starving too, but I got a pain in the tooth and I cannot eat, because once I do, that pain kicks in again.
Ah, bummer.
Yeah, it sucks.
As quick as possible. Yank that sucker out. Right, are we all in the mood in Discord? Yes, Nathan, we can't wait to go live. We're so excited. Oh, I'm really pleased to hear it. Well, let's get the show on the road.
Let's get it on. Hello.
Yellow.
Hello. I'm in a tremendously good mood this morning, I've got to be honest. Been flogging stupid microphones. I mean, wonderful, lovely audio producing microphones for the last 8 or 9 months in lieu of flogging a book. And the book is still not still not ready, so it's not going to be coming out. And the whole point of flogging microphones was to make a bit of a profit to keep the mortgage paid, because the book was designed to supplement my drop in ad revenue because of the heavy censorship on YouTube. Now, for the last 8 months, all I seemed to be doing was buying them, selling them, and then buying more with the money I'd made in profit to sell a few more and then buy a few more, and I never seemed to actually make a profit. And then about 2 weeks ago, I said to Craig, who's on the panel, click OK, I'm in the black. Finally, I'm in the black to about £100. And then I bought a few more microphones and it dipped back into the red. But now officially, I'd say I'm staying in the black. It's consistently gone around about the 0 mark, but it's now consistently, even though I've got stuff to sell, I don't need to go out of my way to buy anything. I'm in the black. So I'm starting to actually make a little bit of profit from flogging microphones. I mean, I won't go through my turnover numbers. They're horrendous. I've sold and bought so much stuff. Like thousands of pounds worth of stuff has sort of been bought and sold by me over the last 10 or whatever it is months. Hopefully by Easter I won't have to do any more mic sales and I'll be promoting and selling a book. And the reason, in case you're wondering, why are you talking about microphones on the opening of this show and why would that put you in such a good mood? Well, Fisherman in a Box did a video about soil in the sky. Now, I played it in the pre-show along with swearing and effing and blinding about Quantum Eraser and the Adam Meakin thieving bastards that the pair of them are. But aside from that, I was talking specifically about searching for Fisherman in a Box's video because I saw it appear on Saturday, I think I saw it, but didn't watch it. So I thought, okay, well, it's got me in the thumbnail. How vain am I? I know he's making a video about something I've said, so I want to watch it. Anyway, that's just me. I searched for it, and what do I come across? A video by Simon Dan. And is he talking about his ineptitude when it comes to Coriolis deflection and the requirement for 2 reference frames? No, Dan's not talking about you and your reference frames being ruined. Is he talking about the 1,000+ flat Earth measurements he made that we point out currently at nausea? Nah, his thumbnail's talking about the book. Lowest possible hanging fruit. Apparently the community's in turmoil. No, there's just a couple of thieving bastards that I've excluded from my life since they tried to extort one of my drafts from me. Now, that isn't really addressing the fact that Earth's measured flat or that we haven't got any proof that Earth's turning. A church rhetoric that a lot of atheists seem to be under the misapprehension that they're not believing in church viewpoints. I mean, we're going to, at least on this show, point out exactly how religious heliocentric belief is, given that people in England had it taught to them via the Church of England school system that they went through if they had a free, cheap education from Big Daddy government. But that makes them in line with the Roman Catholic religious rhetoric of being on a ball flying around the sun. That's a Christian viewpoint. It's come from the Roman Catholic Church via your Church of England education, here in England, obviously. I'm sure it's the same in every other country. Big Daddy government, via a system that's been passed down from the Roman Catholic Church, teaches you this religious viewpoint that you're on a ball in a sky vacuum. That's a very religious viewpoint. And a lot of people are under the misapprehension that they're not religious because they don't do any primary source research. Go ahead.
By the way, it does not line up with scripture. So I'm glad that you're putting it on the Roman Catholic Church. But also Christians, born again Christians, Lutherans, believe the same thing.
And you know who else believes the same thing? Scientologists. That's the closest comparative religion in the strictest terms. If you are a dyed-in-the-wood heliocentrist who thinks you're on a ball after measuring Earth flat to produce it mathematically, in orbit around the sun after measuring Earth flat to produce it mathematically, then your religious viewpoint, that's being on a ball in a sky vacuum flying around the sun, aka heliocentric, helios, that's the sun, centric, meaning at the centre, from the Roman Catholic Church, your religious viewpoint is almost identical to the Scientologists' viewpoint. You've got more in common with Scientologists than any other religion. Now, both have come from the Roman Catholic Church. It's just you don't get Scientology taught to you in England, Church of England school system. You get the direct heliocentric rhetoric from the Roman Catholic Church without any Xenu references. But beyond the Xenu references, they're the same religious viewpoint. You're both on a ball, you're both flying around the sun, you're both in a sky vacuum with planets far, far away, with aliens. You've got the same religious viewpoint as a Scientologist. They're the same viewpoint. They're the same religion. I just want to make that clear to all the people who think they're not religious when they think, I'm on a ball flying around the sun, but I'm not religious. Yeah, you are. Yeah. You're about as close to a Scientologist as you can get. You might not believe in thetans, but you definitely believe in aliens if you're a current mainstream heliocentrist. It's all you get on your propagandized news feeds. Aliens, right? What, like Xenu and thetans? Yeah, they're bringing it ever closer to the Scientologist viewpoint for you muppets who think you're on a ball flying around the sun based on flat Earth measurements to derive orbital motion. You're just religious fundies, you bloody heliocentrists. Shout out to Chow Young Cat for the super chat, which says, "For it's by the grace you've been saved through faith, and it's not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." Ephesians 2:8-9. FYI, Catholics aren't Christians. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, Chow Young Cat.
I don't know about that. I know a lot of Catholics that you'd be surprised. They just, what it is, it's a lazy religion. That's what it is. You know?
What's lazy?
Roman Catholicism. You're not prompted to read your Bible. You just go by what the priest says. And every week you just go to confession and, start over every week, like he says in A Bronx Tale. It was great being a Catholic. You do what you want, and every week just go to the priest, ask for forgiveness, and move on.
Yeah, we stole all these tobacco cigarette things from the back of a van. Just go and dip your hand in the holy water, say 3 Hail Marys, and be on your way. That was my Italian-American accent. Not very good. That's not me implying that all Italian-Americans are thieves. It's just the just general stereotypes from things like The Godfather.
Right, and in movies like A Bronx Tale and Goodfellas and all of that.
Yeah.
But to hear Billy Graham saying that he thinks that we'll be zipping from planet to planet with light speed efficiency, it's nowhere in Scripture, and that's the sad part of it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm tempted to play that bit again, but I won't. I mean, in the pre-show, we had... Is it Billy Graham? Is that the guy we were watching right at the end of Fisherman in a Box's video?
Yeah, he was the one that was being interviewed.
So, a devout Christian, like Bible-thumping Christian from a Christian church who stands at the front, in front of the pulpit, talking to his congregation about heliocentrism, about flying around the sun. So for all of you out there that follow in the footsteps of your Simon Dans and your Craig McNeils, thinking you're atheists, no, you're fundamentalist religious zealots and lazy ones that haven't done any primary source research to figure out where that religious viewpoint you hold came from. Spoiler, it came from the Roman Catholic Church about 500 years ago and was honed about 300 years ago. And it's been in worldwide effect, I choose my words carefully, about 100 years. That's it. But it's still a religious viewpoint, very much in line with Scientology. It's the same religion. There's almost no difference between Scientology and heliocentrism. one is based on the other. It's just an offshoot of the same Roman Catholic religious viewpoint that you, Fundies, thinking you're atheists, idiots. No, maybe if you'd have done some primary source research into where your heliocentrism came from, you'd know it came from priests. That's why you got taught it in your church schools. Yeah? Did you think you were atheists? Oh, bless. Nah, you're just like Scientologists. Yeah? Crazy religious nutters. That's what you all are, believing you're flying around the sun. What kind of nutters are you? Do you not know you've got to measure Earth flat to derive orbital motion? Did you not know you've got to measure Earth flat to derive sphericity of the surface? Did you not know any of these things? Did you not research the measurements of Earth to create a ball for you to believe in as you were told by the Roman Catholic Church? Did you not research it? What's that? You and your reference frames are ruined? Yeah, you dumbasses, the bunch of you. You don't even understand the principles used to suggest you've got turning Earth beneath your feet. You don't know how it's been brought into effect. You don't know where the origins came from. You don't know anything about it. You just told it by your school, and now you just think that's the case. Yeah, of course I'm on a ball flying around the sun. My teacher told me. It's sad, isn't it? When you break it down like I just broke it down, it's sad and pathetic and lazy on the part of all of the heliocentrists out there that just decided to agree with what they were told and now doggedly fight for it because they've got so used to believing it. Look at the measurements, you bunch of clowns. Where do you think you got orbital motion from? Where do you think you got sphericity from? You got it from angle measurements off a flat surface. That's where. Earth was measured flat to produce your heliocentric, crazy worldview akin to Scientology. And we're going to labour this fact, right? From this point forward, right? There's plenty of people out there that genuinely believe they're atheists. No, you're not. No, you're just like every other Roman Catholic believer. A religious Fundie. That's what you all are. That's what heliocentrism's given you. Yeah? Without you even realising it, you were put into a religion. Without your permission. You were just told to be in the religion and you went along with it because you're lazy and stupid. And that's what being on a ball flying around the sun makes you. Lazy and stupid. You didn't look into its origins, you didn't look into the maths, you didn't look into the measurements. You didn't look into the people who gave it you. And if you did, you just went, oh, well, so what? It came from the priests. Doesn't mean I'm religious. Yeah, it does. Makes you all religious. Because being on a ball flying around the sun is a religious belief. And that's what you all are. So-called atheists. No. Bless.
Well, that's no excuse for Bible-believing Christians to fall down that path either. I mean, they have the Bible in front of them. They could read word for word what it says. I mean, you don't have to follow this heliocentric nonsense because that's exactly what it is. It's nonsense.
Yeah. I think I will actually play that clip. Just the last little section of it.
Yes.
Bring that up. Hopefully it doesn't get me a copyright strike for the music. I'll see if I can spin it onto the bit just slightly past the music.
The Bible teaches that the ultimate goal of the true believer is going to be a place called heaven or paradise. It's not going to be a place where we sit under palm trees and have a beautiful girl fan us, as some people envision heaven. It's going to be a place where we work.
What?
And I think that we are going to be able to go from planet to planet and...
Sorry, we're talking about what the Bible teaches in Christianity according to this very religious man. What's his name again? Billy what?
Billy Graham. He was an evangelist from all the way through 60s and on. And he was a very successful evangelist.
You're getting this? You're flying on a planet around the sun being delivered to you by a Christian evangelist. Yeah, this is where your worldview came from. Why is this Christian evangelist talking about heliocentrism and planets and work up in heaven? That's because it's the same religion you all hold. It's come from the same place. It's the same religion. It's the same story that you atheists thought had come from just knowing that we're on a ball. We just know. Yeah, well, where did you get the information from? Oh, from a church school? Yes, right. That's why this Christian evangelist is saying the exact same thing. Because he holds the same religion you do. You bunch of fundies on a ball flying around the sun.
From one part of the universe to the other, and I think we're...
Universe? What, like you Christian religious fundies on a ball flying around the sun in a giant universe, believe? Yeah, it's the same religion, yeah? From your church school? You just thought that was just a fact. That's what Big Daddy government told you when you were educated for free.
We're going to be able to go as fast as thought. And I think we're going to have other worlds to conquer. We're going to have tremendous enterprises that we're going to do on other planets.
Other planets. That's right. You bunch of numpty idiots, heliocentrists, think that there's other worlds in the sky, don't you? Lots of rocks to mine. In the air. Yeah, that's idiotic. But it's the same religious view that this here fundamentalist has got. Billy Graham. He's on your side, Simon Dan. He's got the same viewpoint as you, Craig McNeil. That's right, Dave, not a professor. He's got the same view as you because it is the same viewpoint from the same church. You're just as fundamentalist as this gentleman, Billy Graham.
And I think there are many indications in the Bible about this. We're not going to go and just sit down and rest and relax.
Yeah, that's the first thing he's got wrong. I mean, he can talk all day long about heliocentrism, having had it passed down from the Roman Catholic Church. But no, it does not say that in the Bible. Yeah, that's where Bible-believing Christians are very different to the heliocentric, Roman Catholic-derived religious fundamentalists, like Simon Dan, Craig McNeil, and not a Professor Dave. Yeah, they're the same as this man, Billy Graham, as in, like a man banging his Bible, pretending his religious rhetoric has come from it. It didn't. Let's get that absolutely clear.
Relax. Now, the first few years, I'd like to rest a while and play a little golf.
Sure.
And I hope they have golf balls. And
they have a great course. They have a great course.
Because I'll miss it if we don't. But I asked my wife one day, who's a great student of the Bible, I said, Ruth, do you think there's going to be golf in heaven? She gave a marvelous reply. She said, if golf is important for your happiness, it'll be there.
Can't argue with that.
I have come to the conclusion that neither lying nor deception are inherently immoral.
Is that Pastor? Just say that one more time. Pastor Will Duffy? Yeah, that's right. He's your pastor, isn't he, Baltards? Yeah? That's Simon Dan's pastor. The one that alleged to go south? That's south. Not south. South, like on a compass. To assume antipodal positioning by begging the question fallacy, and then measure Earth flat for 24 hours, like all of the participants there. Other than fugly Dave McKeegan, who couldn't cope with the tripod. They all measured flat. Earth. In Antarctica. If they were there, they might have been in a tent of tellies, not that it matters. They'd still be measuring Earth flat on a sun on a telly screen if it was. Meanwhile, he's your pastor, you bunch of religious zealots. Your pastor says it's okay to lie, scheme, and deceive. While he bangs his Bible, pretending that that's where his worldview of a world that flies around the sun has come from, it wasn't. The Roman Catholic Church got it by measuring Earth flat. Like he measured Earth flat. And all of his participants in Antarctica, or in a tent of tellies, measured Earth flat. Other than fugly Dave McKeegan. Like, scrape your own eyes out your own head for being so ugly and stupid, Dave McKeegan. Didn't quite manage to use his own tripod, Dave McKeegan. Dumbass couldn't cope with measuring Earth flat for the full 24 hours in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Or maybe in a tent of tellies, Dave McKeegan. Other than him, that dumbass, they all measured Earth flat for a full 24-hour period at the behest of a pastor. Pastor Duffy, who says it's okay to lie. He's your leader, your Christian leader, disseminating the rhetoric of the Roman Catholic Church to a bunch of people that think they don't believe in God, that they're not religious. Oh, you are? That's your pastor, Pastor Will Duffy, who leads the charge of heliocentrism on your behalf. He's like your glorified ruler. He's the one in charge of Professor Dave, and Simon Dan and Craig McNeil and Creaky. He's your pastor. Me, I haven't got a religion in that regard. Yeah? I follow Jesus based on the words that are actually in the Bible, not the words of a lying shyster. Could be in jail, I've no idea where. Pastor Will Duffy, your leader, who says it's okay to lie to you when he passes on the rhetoric of the Roman Catholic Church, as you all believe in it, along with going to measure Earth flat when travelling south. That's a horizontal directionality, by the way. You'll require a flat Earth to describe that direction. So that's south. Flat Earth only. Meanwhile, you can assume antipodal positioning if you don't know how to use a frigging compass. When you believe in being on a ball, as the Roman Catholic Church told you. Flying around the sun, like the Roman Catholic Church told you. After they, the Roman Catholic Church, measured Earth flat to derive orbital motion. You can believe that based on what your pastor, Will Lying's OK Duffy, told you after measuring Earth flat, like all of his participants in Antarctica, other than Fugly Dave McKeegan. Shout out to Fisherman in a Box. There is a link going by to Fisherman in a Box's channel. That particular video was called Raw Studio, Soil in the Sky, penned by Nathan Oakley. Oh, how lovely. And then it's got 1970s Gift to Heliocentric Christians. Oh, I like the way he's phrased that. Gift to heliocentric Christians. Yeah, that's what you all are. Yeah? Did you think you were an atheist? No, you're a heliocentric Christian. All of you numpties, you believers, you religious fundamentalists, following Pastor Will Duffy. Down to Antarctica? Down? Why is it that I'm pointing in a flat earth compass direction and saying down? Oh, it's because I'm pointing out how stupid you numpties who think that south? No, dumbasses who don't understand how to use a compass. That's right, it's you. Yeah, with your religion you were given by the Roman Catholic Church. South? South? No. Idiots. Zealots. Religious believers. Ball in a sky vacuum. Now, you're going to need to measure Earth flat for that. Orbital motion. No, you're going to need to measure Earth flat for that. Why is that? Well, because Earth's measured flat. Even to derive your religious belief that you all hold. I know. You should talk about my book. Then you won't have to talk about how flat Earth got measured by the Roman Catholic Church to give you your religious viewpoint. You can attack me, the man, in my book. Maybe attack the people who extorted it. The draft, that is, from me. You could do that. That would be a much lower hanging fruit than Roman Catholicism gave you your religion after measuring Earth flat. You and your reference frames are ruined. Yeah, you're going to need two of those, dumbass Dan, with your religious belief in flying around the sun as the Roman Catholic Church told you. And Duffy told you. Pastor Duffy. Yeah? You all covered it. He's your leader. I mean, he might be in jail, but he's definitely your pastor.
Nathan, Billy was saying that we'll be moving from planet to planet with speed of thought.
Oh, really? I mean, that sounds just like God's word.
He said it's in the Bible.
No, it isn't.
I can't find it. I was just looking.
Also, shout out to Bible U, who's in the chat, and she's giving you some decent citations, so you'd have to listen to the nonsense of Billy Graham talking about planets. The Bible and Science, and then there's a link, so go and check it out on the Bible U channel. Big shout out to you, Paula.
Well, I got one of them from Paula. It's outstanding. I'm going to share it with you one day. We'll discuss it about the scientific method and, you know, what the Bible says. Very good.
There's as much propaganda out there against true Christianity as there is against the world being measured flat. You have to create an aura of Christianity being something that it isn't. And Paula, over the years, has pointed me in the direction away from the rhetoric that is easily debunked, if I will just admit to it, if I wasn't as lazy as I am. Now, fortunately, I've got people like Paula, that's Bible U, on my side. And when there's crazy nonsense put out there, she can point out how it's crazy nonsense really concisely because she's done the work, right? So it's easy when you know how, but you've got to have done the research to do it. So if you want to be a true Christian, that is to say, become at one with Christ, Paula's link's in the description. You can check out her link, which is called, once more, what was it again? The Bible and Science. So check it out. There's a link flying its way by in the live stream chat as we speak.
Yeah, that's the link I'm talking about. I would recommend that everybody click that and read that.
Oh, why is that a black screen? That doesn't look so good. Something's gone wrong there. Sorry, bear with me a second. There we go. That's much better. We can see the glorified protractor that is known as the globe, with its tangential plane that's not the surface, attached to the dangling dingleberry. How beautiful. You know who came up with this? The Roman Catholic Church. It's a Roman Catholic derivation of a flat Earth angle measurement to Polaris and an orbital motion given to you by Kepler. It's a Roman Catholic Church derivation, this depiction here. I mean, no one's standing in hell to measure angles, but I mean, that's how it functions. You just got to understand your Roman Catholic religion that you all have. Yeah, we're definitely going to lean into this more and more as time progresses, because it is hilarious how deluded a lot of the heliocentrists are, how they don't think that they're in a religion. It's like being a Scientologist and saying, well, it's not a religion. It's just how it is. Thetans and space and sky vacuums and moving around the sun in an orbital motion. That's not a religion. Yeah, it is. And you're all a part of it. Yeah, so it's been a good weekend, as you can tell, because I'm in a great mood. A big shout out to you, by the way, Dan, in all seriousness, right, from one YouTuber to another. As much as I can take the mickey out of you for going for the lowest possible hanging fruit, not addressing your 1,000 plus flat Earth elevation angle measurements that definitely aren't local to you. You don't have to address any of that nonsense. Just keep advertising my book that it doesn't even exist yet. Just keep advertising that, saying that the community is in turmoil. The flat Earth measurements aren't a community. In fact, they've got absolutely sod all to do with any people or individuals. Like weak minds cover people. Meanwhile, the measurements of Earth are flat. And it wouldn't matter if there wasn't a single person on the face of God's green Earth. It would still be flat. And when the apes took over, they'd have to measure it flat too. Because that's how it'd be measured. Like it's measured by us. And the Roman Catholic Church. To give you a religion of being on a ball. But nevertheless, in spite of you not addressing any of that, I'm really grateful for you covering the turmoil that the community's in. No, I wouldn't be so bold. You know, it's just little old me and people who come onto my show for an hour or two each day. I mean, I've built a nice little community around me. That's not flat Earth. Far from it. That's the Nathan Oakley 1980 community that I've built over the last 10 or 11 years. Flat Earth community? Well, that's a bit of a misnomer. Maybe you don't understand what flat, that's an aspect, and Earth, that's the ground we're standing on, mean when you put them together. That's not a community, you bunch of idiots. But you want to make it about a community because then you won't have to address the measurements of Earth, will you? If you can make it about individuals, that's even better. Yeah? It isn't. Earth's just measured flat. The other video I'm going to release is, I've already released this to my members, but I'm going to release my little microphone video that I've made about 4 times so far, where I say, yeah, I'm coming to the end of flogging microphones because I'm doing my book. Really grateful that I'm nearly at the point where I can publish it, so I don't have to flog these stupid microphones anymore. And here are all my microphones that I need to sell to keep my head above water moving into this festive season that we're now in. I know you guys have got Thanksgiving, haven't you, before Christmas? For us, it's just a clear shot from Guy Fawkes night straight through to Christmas. So the second Guy Fawkes night is over, all of the supermarkets clear out all the shelves, the Halloween stuff goes on discount, and all of the Christmas stuff comes out. So we end up having Christmas music played to us through November, which it always irritates me that we get almost 2 solid months of Christmas. But you guys get it, punctuated by Thanksgiving, don't you? Yes, Nathan, we do have Thanksgiving. Well, I'm glad this is turning into a single-way conversation. Is this thing on?
Yes, we hear you. Yeah, after Halloween, they bring out the pumpkins and stuff for Thanksgiving, and then the Christmas stuff comes out immediately after.
Pumpkins on Thanksgiving as well?
Yeah, they bring out the pumpkins and the pumpkin spice and the leaves and all the festivities for Thanksgiving, the floats or whatever.
I just didn't know you ate pumpkins. I mean, obviously, for us, I mean, maybe that's not true for everyone, but certainly for me personally, my family, and ever since I can remember, the only thing a pumpkin was ever used for was to carve a Halloween face into, and then once they rotted, chucked them in the bin, and that was it. But we never really ate them, or not that I can ever remember, whereas it's actually a food at Thanksgiving that you eat. I suppose that makes sense. It's a seasonal vegetable that's ripe and ready to eat at that particular time of year, so it makes sense to eat it.
Yeah, lots of people make pie out of it, pumpkin pie and such.
Is that a pudding? A dessert?
Yes.
A dessert made out of a vegetable?
Yes.
Is it nice?
And from my family, we make sweet potato pie on Thanksgiving.
Is that a dessert?
Yes.
Sweet potatoes are quite sweet, though. I can understand that. Fair enough. Sounds delicious. We've also got Black Friday. Another reason why I can't really carry on buying microphones at this particular point. There's a transitional point where if you haven't bought all the stuff that you need to sell between now and Christmas, everything gets more expensive, all the prices go up, so it becomes increasingly difficult to buy in stock. I'm sure other retailers out there will attest to the same thing. Although they've probably got proper distribution lines and suppliers that don't actually have that sort of problem. Quite the contrary, they'll want you to buy more. But for me, having, a limited supply chain, that's to say I buy the stuff from the same place I sell it, the prices all go haywire as soon as it comes towards Christmas. So fortunately, I've got enough stock to hopefully last me till Christmas. And more importantly, last me till the book comes out. But it'd be great if I can get some more adverts out of you guys on the ball side between now and Christmas. I mean, the book doesn't actually exist yet, but I mean, if you can keep telling people that there's a book that's going to be out there, wonderful. Everyone's then genned up and ready to be reading it when it finally comes out. Maybe you'll get a mention in it. You never know your luck. Depends how stupid you are. I mean, I haven't yet written about you and your reference frames being ruined. But the bare bones draft of the Coriolis effect has been done. I think it was like chapter 6 or something. That's it. I'm normally tuckered out by about 35 minutes into the live show, which is where we're at about now. So I'm going to lean into you guys to help me out. Hey, Arthur, by the way. Hey, One Deck, by the way. Can you guys hear me?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yep. Hello, Nathan.
What's been going on with you guys? Anything exciting happening over the weekend? Flat Earth related, preferably?
Yes, I commented on Simon Dan.
We'll go with Arthur then, Flat Earth Ranger next. Go ahead, Arthur.
I was just saying that I could not add anything to the conversation because all that culture stuff is alien to me. Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I could not even if I wanted to.
What religion are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Wait, what's Thanksgiving and Christmas? I missed that.
Hold on, Neil. What religion are you, Arthur?
Well, right now, I am a Christian, but I have been born and brought up in a Hindu family. So in India, we do not have that whole culture of Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I have never seen it in front of me. After growing up, of course, I got to know about the Western culture, but not something that I have witnessed on my own in my society, basically.
I understand now. It's not that you're denying it like some people, because a lot of people, they fight against Christmas and they say it's Saturnalia. You just weren't brought up in it. I got it.
Yeah, well, there's loads of pagan traditions in it as well. I mean, if you believe the Bible, you would probably peg Christmas at about September-ish, around about early to mid-September. Someone out there is going to go, what, September 11th? Well, maybe.
Hold on a second. Hold on. There was a time when I fought against it, and I was the most miserable person you could imagine. And I said, wait a second. If for one day the whole world is going to acknowledge the birth of Messiah, and who am I to fight against it?
Yeah, that's my attitude. Absolutely. Now, but there are certainly here in the UK lots of leftover, I suppose is the words, pagan traditions like the tree. That's pagan.
Yep.
1000%.
Yuletide, tied into Norse mythology and whatnot.
Exactly. But they've done that to keep when they transition to Christmas being in the middle of winter and New Year. That's the one that really bugs me more than anything, right? As you say, Neil, if everyone's going to talk about Christianity and the birth of Christ, then who am I to disagree? You know, we go to church on a Christmas day and put oranges on a tree. What are the oranges? They're like planets. You know what I mean? So, but we'll do it because, you know, why not? It's tradition and we're British. That's what we do. But nevertheless, the bit that bugs me more isn't actually Christian hijacking of pagan traditions. It's saying that New Year is the 1st of January, which to me is just a stupid, nonsensical way to see things. It's like spring is New Year, isn't it?
Can I give the history?
Again?
Yes, that's what I
Can I
plan
give the
on
history
saying.
on
Like,
it?
we
Hold on a
celebrate
second.
the birth
Wait
of
a
Christ in
second.
April.
New Year, it was really April 1st was New Year's. And that's why you have April 1st as April Fool's Day.
Yep.
Because when it was changed to January, there were still old school people who represented it on April 1st, and they were known as April Fools.
Yep, that's correct. Go ahead, Flat Earth Ranger.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, pretty much, yeah.
About April Fool's Day being the former New Year start. I mean, it makes sense, right? That's when the flowers come out, that's when the grass comes out, that's when the trees start growing their leaves, that's when the lambs start coming. That's New Year.
That's when we have it here in India. Our calendars start around March or April only.
Which makes perfect sense. That's far more sensible. Because that's when the New Year is, right? The end of the year being the end of the dark period, the end of the winter.
So basically, they're calling New Year in the beginning of the dead year when everything's cold and frozen and nothing's springing to life. We're calling it New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's go outside in scarves, boots, and coats and hats into the new year. And you're like, this is nuts. It never made any sense when I was a kid, and it still doesn't to this day. I just think, what a crazy notion. It's not new. There's nothing new about it. Everything's dead and old and cold.
What does deck means? Which it means 10, right? That's December.
Yeah.
If you go back to August 8. Neville is 9.
Yeah, you're kind of mixing concepts because there should really be 13 moon cycles if you're going to try and devise a calendar. Or if I was to devise a calendar, it would have 13 moon cycles in it.
Right.
In old language Croatian or Serbian, they are using the summer like for the years. If you say how much years you have, you say I have 70 summers.
Yeah. So you get basing it on how many times the sun have cycled through that I suppose it'd be the analemma, how many times it's gone through that process. I mean, that is something you can thank Kepler for.
And mostly everything is uniform but buttons for some reason.
Yeah. Just mostly hijacking former traditionalists' celebrations and imposing Roman Catholicism on top of them at a point that is universally celebrated by the people of that region at that time. They'll go, well, now it's called X. We've decided to call it this now. You'll still celebrate at the same time, but it's now our religion and our viewpoint. And does it have to line up with the actual Bible? No. No, not at all. Does the calendar match up with anything? No. No, if anything, the calendar's sole purpose is to take you away from the lights in the sky and keeping track of where you are in the year using that giant glorified clock that we call the sky. If you can give people a calendar, then you can take them away from that. They're no longer dependent on those things. People don't even pay attention to them anymore. It's a struggle to get people to even crick their head and look up at the sky half the time. That was cemented more in my mind ever than when we had Aurora Borealis here in the Midlands. Normally, you can get Aurora all the way up in Scotland. That's a fairly regular occurrence. Like every other year, you'll get Aurora there. Whereas here, we don't. It's a very, very uncommon occurrence to get Aurora Borealis. But 2 years ago, we had absolutely spectacular auroras here in the middle of England. And I remember going outside, seeing it and going, oh my God, this is absolutely amazing. And I saw two women walking past on the street and I ran over to them and went, look, there's an aurora, look, it's amazing. They just looked at me like I was a nutter. Didn't even crick their head. Wouldn't look up. That's not the first time it's happened, but it's the first time it's happened with something that was truly spectacular. Like, if I'm just at the Tesco car park, because it's at the top of a hill, and I'm looking at a full moon or something, I can appreciate that people wouldn't want to necessarily look at what I'm looking at, right? It's like, why is he looking at the moon? And then they get on with their day. But Aurora is colossal. It's taking up like a third of the sky. So when you see pictures of Aurora, you're like, you can't get a sense of the scale. And I couldn't, I'd not seen it. So you don't know what to expect. But when it's actually in front of you, it's so colossal that it's hard not to notice. Like, you have to go out of your way not to look at it, to not notice it. So when people are like, whatever, and they just carry on walking, you think, my God, do you not care? This is something that's literally in your presence as we speak, and you don't want to even look? No, people don't. Why? Well, because of things like the calendar. They don't need to look at the sky. There's no practical purpose for it. Their kings and queens have passed them on calendars to use for that purpose. And you can mark off days with names given by kings and queens. Months, same thing applies. And you don't need to look at the moon. You don't need to look at the cycles. You don't need to learn them. You don't need to appreciate how they operate. None of that's necessary anymore for the majority of people.
The firmament declares the glory of God. If you look up at the firmament and you see an aurora, that is an absolute sign of the glory of God and his power. It's no wonder that people don't want to look at it, because it forces them to contemplate their place in creation.
Yeah. Now, prior to Flat Earth, I would look up at the sky and contemplate my insignificance in the vastness of space, because that's what my school system taught me. That was the religion I was a part of until very recently. But most people don't. Most people don't look up. They're not contemplating how much of a speck of dust they are in an infinite, ever-expanding soup of nothingness. even though that is their religion. Most people don't give it a second thought. And I think that is the main purpose, you know, to take people away from the sky and have them watch a TV screen believing that it's little green men that are going to come from little rocks that are mineable, that we call stars and planets. Like, that's where the resources are going to be. That's where we should go. We're going to get all of our resources from the air, from the sky. Bonkers, really, when you think about it. We came to a conclusion on Friday that we'll be doing housekeeping maybe once a week. So in case anybody's tuning in going, I wonder where the housekeeping questions are, we'll probably do them on a Thursday or Friday from now on. So they become more and more redundant as time goes on. But to keep that alive, that is to say the arguments as they were previously known alive, we will still do the housekeeping. So long as there's a heliocentric religious worldview prevalent in, I was going to say Western world, but across the world, housekeeping still has a place to a degree. But as Neil put it on Friday, if you keep your house immaculate, you don't have to do housekeeping every day. You just need to do it once a week and just knock the dust off. So that's what we'll be doing. Knocking the dust off once a week. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a video to cover, though. I do want to get back into the routine of covering material, although we did cover a bit of Fisherman in a Box today. It'd be nice to cover, as One Deck suggests, us covering normal people who just measure Earth flat because that's how it's measured, without offering a load of nonsensical apologies for their religious faith in a ball in a sky vacuum that isn't the world that they're measuring. So
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just need people to provide me videos. I'm sure One Deck will dig stuff out, as will Essential Goat.
I mean, tempting it as it is to respond to freaking a moron like Sideman Dan because he's, you know, grasping for straws. It's not even worth it. Just ignore him. He's not a professional.
No, I mean, he did measure Earth flat 1,000 times, but yeah, like you say, why bother appealing to that? Is he put that into practical application? Was it useful for anything beyond affirming his own religious belief? No. So he's using flat Earth measurements to affirm his ball-shaped religious belief. Like, what use is that to us? Let's just go to people who actually build things, navigate.
No, he just wants to bring up how the community's in turmoil, which it's not. Nathan, why don't you tell us how strong this community you built is?
I mean, I'm very happy with my community. I mean, like I say, I can't quite believe I've managed to keep my mortgage paid for the last 12 months, given that I'm only just into profit after flogging microphones. The whole point being to keep the mortgage paid. But when I sat across from Craig going, how am I actually still afloat? Craig's advice was, well, you just pay attention to your bank balance as opposed to how much profit you're in. If you're in the black in your bank balance, then that's all that really matters. But then you think, well, why am I in the black? Well, because I've got an extremely supportive community. And it's not just a wealth from dollar bills, financial, pound notes that I'm talking about. Like the wealth that I get from a community that's supportive is a very different type of wealth. Emotionally, I'm supported by the people around me. I mentioned Paula, Bible U earlier. That's a perfect example. Now, you could look at, as I've mentioned him as well, Craig. He supports me. He did actually support me financially. He paid for my curry on Friday, which meant I could take my wife out, which I haven't done for years. So I had cash to pay for the curry, and the curry was on Craig. He was like, I'll pay for tonight's curry. There's only the two of us. I was like, oh, thank you. That's really sweet. But that meant that the cash I'd taken out of the bank to pay for my curry, not that I'm ever paying for Craig's curry, I'm too poor, but I still had that cash in my wallet. So I said to my wife, I'll take you out for a curry. I've got the money that I would have ordinarily paid for my curry on Friday, so we can go out with the kids. And admittedly, she had to put a tenner in, but, it wasn't exactly of detriment. But Craig helps in loads of different ways. He's always helping me with technical work. Now, that involves his time. Is he directly giving me cash? Well, yeah, for curry he is. He literally handed the money over and went, if you feel embarrassed, I'll give you the money and then you can give it back to me to pay for the curry. But you know what I'm getting at. My point is that people don't necessarily just give me money. That's not the only way that people support me. And they support me emotionally. And that's something that you can't buy. You know, even if it had a price, you can't put a price tag on that. Having a supportive community. People like One Deck, you know, allowing me to step back from a horrible situation when it was me being extorted from my former friends. You know, if you've got support of a community, it didn't cost One Deck a penny to take me to one side and go, look, this is a lever that's being used on you. This is how the lever works. And you go, oh yeah, I just hadn't thought about it in that way. That's wealth that I'm being offered. You know, same with Bible U. If you're being brought closer to Jesus, is that money? Is she giving me money? No. But that's invaluable. Is that the right word? Like priceless? You can't put a price tag on that sort of support, that kind of community involvement. But yeah, there's been times in the last month that people's support has literally brought me to tears. Like tears of joy. Like good tears. Like, I can't quite believe how blessed I am in the community that I've built and the people that are around me. Because they're wonderful, wonderful people. But when people say, oh, have you got a community? Do you get a lot of support? A lot of mercenary people will just assume that I'm talking about how much money I get. And it's not about that. I'm not, as much as everybody needs money, it's quite low on my list of priorities, believe it or not. Obviously, I want to keep the bills paid and the lights on. But by the same token, that's not the kind of wealth that I seek, or I wouldn't be doing what I do. Now, I've had that life when I was a rep. I've been rich. I've driven around in Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all that kind of nonsense, and had expensive repmobiles and a good expense account, and you know, plane tickets whenever I want to fly anywhere for free. All of that stuff is stuff that costs a lot of money. But did I feel emotionally or mentally wealthy then? No. But at some point I decided I wanted a humble life. And a humble life where I, as Neil's trying to allude to, I believe, built a community around me that had more than just money to offer. And it's something that I would assume, I don't know is the case, is lacking in other so-called communities that they're just seeking confirmation bias for a religious belief that they already have and is already the prevalent one world religion anyway. Like, so I would imagine that if you're toddling along to Dave McKeegan or Simon Dan or Craig McNeil or Professor Dave Explains, you're not going to want to stick around to offer them emotional support. You just get your confirmation bias. You might even drop them some money. But that's about it. Why would you hang around to offer them some emotional support? The irony being that they actually need that more than we do. I mean, everybody needs emotional support. Everyone likes to have friends and a good community around them. But I'm not losing sleep. Who here's losing sleep over the subject of flat Earth? Anybody at all losing sleep because they're worried about Earth not being flat? Anybody at all?
Nope.
Right. Nobody needs that kind of emotional support. But I know for a fact our counterparts on the globe side lose sleep over it, to the point where they are spitting feathers and, you know, want to cause literal harm to the people who point out where they're cognitively dissonant, where they have an opposing view that cannot be squared. The circle cannot be squared for them. Why? Well, because you can't change how Earth is measured. Flat, like this diagram depicts on screen. You can't get around that. That's how it is measured. Well, when you find that out from someone like me, and up until that point you've had the ability to say, oh, these crazy idiots in their community, it's all falling apart in the flat Earth community. Look at this crazy flat Earth individual. Yeah, you can only lean into that for so long. Eventually, you have to realise the awful truth that it's measured flat. And you will lose sleep over that, which is where you need the emotional support. And will Pastor Will Duffy give it you? Will Fugly Dave give it you? No, they can't give it you. They can tell you that the flat earthers are just nutters, that they're silly. And yeah, we measure it flat, but that's because it's a really big ball. That's not going to cut it, though, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I sleep a lot better knowing that there isn't any dirt coming from the sky that's going to hit us, actually.
Yeah. It was one of the first things I realised about 6 months in making flat earth videos. A guy whose name I won't mention called me up and ring, 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 ring. Hello. And person on the other end of the phone I've answered goes, I can't believe you answered. I'm like, you phoned me. He's like, yeah, but I didn't expect you to pick up the phone. I'm like, well, isn't that what people normally do when you phone them? And he's like, yeah, but you're like a celebrity. I'm like, no, I'm not. I've got maybe 1,000 subscribers at the time, but this person looked up to me. Fair enough, right? He's like, I want to talk to you about this flat earth stuff. I'm like, okay, fine, no worries. I'm not doing anything this second. What is it you want to talk about? Now, this was a video call, and he leant across, he was in his bedroom, to his bedside cabinet and grabbed a bottle of pills. He said, see these? These are sleeping pills. I went, okay. And he tossed them over his shoulder. And he said, I don't use them anymore. He says, I was constantly stressed and sweating it. I was like, well, stressed and sweating what? And it's like the horrible nature of being on a ball. The awful fact that something from the sky might come to get me at any moment. The pathetic nature of being an insignificant speck of dust in an ever-expanding soup of nothingness. That really stressed me out to the point where I would lose sleep over it. Now, I found out Earth is flat, and I don't need the sleeping pills anymore. Like I say, he symbolically chucked them over his shoulder whilst on video call with me. And said, I don't need these anymore. I sleep soundly now. I'm like, yeah, so do I. It's a lot less stressful when you find out Earth's flat. Now, back then, I didn't have any of the flat Earth measurements that showed you how a ball was created to absolutely humiliate our opponents by pointing out they require Earth to be measured flat. I didn't have any of that. I just knew balls to bones what Earth was. And so did he. And from that day to this, I sleep easy. Ooh, I've got a load of stuff. I might have to round out. Got things have arrived. Microphones to sell. Ooh. Or I could unbox them live, but it might be a bit of a boring end to the live show. Anybody got anything that they want to add? If not, I'm going to round out. Anybody? Last call? No? Fair enough. If you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Jolly good, jolly good. My shock mount's arrived. Sold a microphone that didn't have a shock mount and I had to order one from France. Or was it Germany? I forget. I have to ship that out. So hopefully the conversation won't die on its arse. Otherwise this is going to be a very quiet after show.
Did anybody watch the video?
Which video,
You got
Craig?
rumpus.
Say that again, Craig.
The McKeegan video. Dave McKeegan's video on Saturday, I think it was.
No, you're the fourth person to tell me that I need to cover it, right? It's almost like as soon as I say, nah, we don't need to cover these fundies, everybody's like, no, we must cover it. Apparently, from what I understand, he's saying flat, no, not flat, level is curved, correct?
I don't know. I thought it was a good advert for Flat Earth. He seems to be saying that I think he's resigned himself to believe it's flat. Because although he tries to put an argument forward, it's rubbish. He even points out in the book where he produces that they says, look, do it this way, but then don't do it that way because we don't really do it that way. It was a bit of an odd video. He talks about the level films and all sorts.
I mean, if someone provides me with timestamps for it, I'm willing to go through it because so many people have mentioned it now.
Yeah, but they got to get on board with what we're trying to do here. We're trying to freeze them out because they're not the professionals. We need to hear how the professionals do it.
No, I was just saying I thought it was more of an advert for Flat Earth. Like all he needed to do was add your book onto the end.
Yeah, like I say, if somebody provides me timestamps so we don't have to sit through a 20, 30-minute video, then yeah, fine, I'll cover it. Ooh. Bought these mics purely because when I first glanced at them in the picture on the advert, it looked like it said Mr. Entertainer Globe. It's backwards. Of course, I flipped my camera. It's G158BE. But at a glance, you're like, does that say globe?
Plus, why would you want to cover that guy? Isn't he so freaking ugly?
Scrape your eyes out of your own head, kind of ugly.
We're talking Davies, boy. Dave Triangles.
Oh, is a different guy? Who's the ugly guy?
Which ugly guy are we talking? I mean, there's loads out there, but
Nathan has a specific guy. I don't want to repeat the words he says because, it's contrary to what I stand for, but Nathan has certain words he uses. I don't want him to use them. Just need the guy's name. I think it's McKeegan.
yeah, that was the one. We all think he's ugly, is it? Ugly?
Yeah, fugly.
Like in Scarface when he's showing the guy that he's got to hit to get out of the camp they were in. Tony Montana looks at the guy and said, "He's ugly." You tell your guys in Miami, your friend, it'd be a pleasure.
Another 1970s microphone with a pewter top. I swapped the top on that mic on Friday, Craig. I got another one with a spare, nicer top. So if that mic does happen to be fixed, I've got a nicer top to put on it. Anyway, it may not be fixable, but either way. Got a replacement?
Yeah, I just got to find where you left it.
Buy your mainframe.
Is it just in this bag?
Yeah. Oh, it's
yeah,
right.
in a bag.
I see it now.
You've changed his packaging.
Yeah, the packaging was part of the one that sold for £100. So
I was looking for a little black
ship that. Right, do you think you can keep the conversation going if I go and post something? If not, I'm gonna have to round out the after show.
Yeah, go ahead, go mail your thing there. We'll keep the show going. Discord, what happened interesting over the weekend? Somebody's got to have something. Pertaining to Flat Earth, that is.
I was wondering, I heard something the other day about somebody said there was no molten core to the Earth. But where does volcanoes and lava come from if there's no molten core?
Oh, but they claim it doesn't come from that. But I always said that. Nathan says no, that's not what their claim is.
Especially when you look at the diagram they give us of the supposed ball cut in half, you don't see those channels leading from the core out into Earth, do you really? The molten lava channels that lead right out and then pour out the side of the Earth. You don't see those, do you? You just see that molten metal right in the middle, all on its own, lonesome, surrounded by other material.
Yeah, but that's not they claim when they don't claim that the lava from volcanoes comes from that, right?
Yeah, I've never heard that myself. No, but I thought that though. That's what I used to think as a kid growing up.
I mean, it would make sense, right?
No,
well, that's what it.
No, the Ring of Fire is tectonic. I don't know if tectonic plates exist, right? I'm not suggesting they do. Their rhetoric is that the friction at the edges of the tectonic plates is what creates the lava at the crust level. So you get these pools of lava from the friction in the plates, not from the core.
Well, that just doesn't make sense, Nathan. The core makes more sense to me than friction causing volcanic heat.
I thought the tectonic plates were floating. That's why they were moving.
That's right. That's right. That's what I thought.
Did someone say plates? Aren't plates?
Yeah, tectonic plates.
Kind of.
Again, I'm not endorsing tectonic activity. I don't even know if they're real, right? I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying that's what their rhetoric is. It's the ring of fire. That's where all the volcanoes are, right? That's tectonic activity, not molten iron core activity.
I know that the tectonic plates move, they say, and one is subducting and the other one's abducting. And when they move, that friction causes earthquakes. That's what they say.
But it doesn't make lava, right?
No, never heard that before, yeah.
Now, I would think, just even if you're a first grader, you would think from the center of Earth, we have this molten iron core where it's so freaking hot there. And areas above where the Earth is, the surface, that there's some volcanoes to release all the pressure from the molten iron core, right? That would make more sense to me. They should have stuck with that story.
The funny thing that got me thinking about it this week was I was reading a story about an old rubbish tip down near London. And apparently every year they get like about 100 call-outs a year because it's always catching fire. And there's people constantly smoke coming out of the ground and they keep having to go and put these fires out because of the rubbish that's been buried over years. And they call it
Peckham.
Peckham volcano.
All right, so it's in southeast London. Wow.
See, when you're working in construction and you're working with heats and pressures, there has to be a release. Otherwise, there's an explosion. So if you got a molten iron core with all of this heat, there's got to be a release. That's why you have volcanoes all over the Earth. You see how simple it is?
Yeah, I always thought that volcanoes meant new land is coming. That's what I always thought.
Yeah.
That's how the Earth was born, you see.
Well, it is. You've got, is it Hawaii? It's producing new landmass all the time from volcanic activity. That's what it's doing. It's like these great big black sections from the lava, and it's like the most fertile land imaginable.
So that makes sense in the end times where it says that this time, instead of being flooded, the Earth would be consumed by fervent heat. So maybe that's part of the recreation process.
And talking about fertility, Japan is a fertile island. Over 3,000 of them, fertile.
Yeah, because they got nuked twice, right? Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Of course they're fertile.
No, because they got onsens, haven't they? They've got the onsens and hot spas all over the island. That's what that's all about. Hot spas.
Come on, Jin, I threw that out there for you. I know what you know about that. So you live in Japan. Do you honestly think that they got nuked?
No, I don't think that. I did at first, but in recent years, the last 10 years, that would be how recent. I've questioned it, and I have put it forward to some of the survivors, and I introduced them to a video called The Fluoride Deception, because it turns out that the so-called atomic bombs were actually fluoride bombs. The documentary is called The Fluoride Deception by Christopher Bryson. Okay, Fluoride Deception, Christopher Bryson. It's only 30 minutes long. And it goes into the Mellon Institute, the Manhattan Project, and how that when they mixed fluoride and uranium together it gave such an almighty bang, and they were already concerned with this fluoride. It was like already concerning of them. So yeah, you want to look it up. So it could be that it was a fluoride bomb, but I can't say for sure that it wasn't atomic. 100%. I can't say that, but that's my reason why. The Fluoride Deception, Christopher Bryson, book was produced in 2004.
Well, Refracted, I think he works in some sort of nuclear type thing. And I think he would contest that.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's good. We'll have a little discussion with him the next time then.
The regular
But if
Homer
anyone's
Simpson, isn't he?
interested, I'll post that video later on.
Do you remember that guy, Nathan? Are you claiming that nuclear bombs don't exist? That's way back.
How can they do nuclear weapons? They haven't even split the atom yet.
Yeah, there was a guy that came on, and I don't know how it got into it, but he was like saying to Nathan, so you're claiming that nuclear bombs don't exist? So, Jim, did you go, were you in 24/7 at all? Because I was there this weekend. Right? I was in there for a little while. Let me tell you what the discussion was. The discussion was a guy came in and he was laughing at flat earthers, and he had the proof. I think it was AV asked him for proof, and he came with pictures from space. And they went on this whole thing of, he was like, well, the pictures has to compare with reality. And it was going on and on and on and on. And I finally said, well, how are you going to have these pictures if the place you're claiming you took them from is a violation of natural law? Right? The vacuum of space don't exist. So where are you getting these pictures from? But it went on for a long, long time about the picture's got to match reality. If it don't match reality, you can't say it's a picture. And you cannot match the reality of a globe to anything here on Earth.
Right, yeah, no, I haven't actually, I didn't go in there the weekend, no. Not this weekend. I think I was there Saturday, short while, just for a short while on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's when I was there Saturday. It happened Saturday. I think it was Saturday morning. And I tell you, hanging around there, I brushed up on all my heliocentric debunkings, that's for sure. But I didn't get no measurements.
Right.
The funny thing was the guy kept saying, it's a globe, it's a globe, it's a globe. Finally, I was like, that's really good proof. It's a globe, it's a globe, it's a globe. Then he started appealing to consensus, Everybody, all the scientists, you know the routine they go down, Jin. Everybody and all these people, they know it's a globe. Everybody knows it's a globe. It's a globe, it's a globe, it's a globe.
Yeah. But I'm sure they would have told him
if
that
he considers those pictures empirical evidence, pictures from space,
Yeah.
Would that hold up as evidence to them? And they just always like to cling to that. It's comical.
Yeah, the period that I was in there was a guy that was calling us delusional, okay? That's what he said. But by the time he'd finished, he realized he was the one that's being delusional after 20 minutes of discussing back and forth. Yeah, really? He realized he was the one that was carrying delusions because, when you explain to him that you believe you're on a ball that's spinning, hurtling through the universe, a second law of thermodynamics violation, and when we explained to him what that meant, he realized that he hadn't proven anything. And in the end, he quietened down. and then sat to the back, and then someone else tried to prove the globe, and they got dismantled as well. That was good. The period I was in there, anyway.
Yeah, they need to look into the history of NASA and where we get space from, and Walt Disney, and where these things were first talked about, and how that has just exploded over the years. And people, they don't do that, and they don't spend time looking into that. So then they're completely brainwashed by 2025, and they believe all this stuff, you know. So they got to look into where these things come from, and why we're told these things, and what they looked like early, and they were really, really bad. Really bad. Like fake, and they're getting better at it, and they're going to keep getting better at it and keep polluting the minds of the people.
So you think one day they're going to actually give us a picture of a boat, antipodal, you know, a cruiser, one of those Queen Marys or something, Queen Elizabeth, one of those, what do they call them again? The cruise ships that you go on.
Yeah, one of those big cruise ships.
Yeah, cruise, yeah.
You think they'll give us a picture of that? Antipodal?
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Yeah.
Or I'll take one even, what do you call if it's not antipodal, but to the left or to the right? Like going sideways.
Perpendicular.
Yeah, we're going to see one of those. They're going to give us pictures like that. I'd love to see that. Yeah. My son says they'll never do that because they actually can fake it, and then everybody will say, "Look, it's fake," and they won't accept a real picture because they'll say it's fake. That's why they're not giving it to us.
Yeah, it's fake all the time. They are always going to fake it.
Yeah, they're great cinematographers. That's basically what they are. And with their technology and augmented reality and stuff they use, they're just going to keep pushing that stuff out. That's why it's important for people to listen to conversations like this and be in Nathan's show here and actually do the work and look into that stuff and see the deception.
Well, yeah, it's really not much to look into, right? Once you understand, you know, the laws of thermodynamics, right? You know,
the violation in our gas pressure laws, absolutely.
I mean, that annihilates it. What's weird is my cousin, I was talking to him the other day, and I was trying to, when we got into the whole stars and planets and distant suns, and I was like, that's pretty much taking away from God's creation and what he says he'd done in the Bible. How God created the heavens and the earth, and he created the stars, created the moon, and he created the sun. It says nothing about other stars, suns, or moons. He says, well, I look at it the opposite. I look at it like it's even more grand how God created all these things. I said, yeah, but it's not lining up with Scripture. If it don't line up with Scripture, same thing with measurements. If the calculations don't line up with the measurement, then you throw the calculations out. And it's the same thing with heliocentrism. If it's not lining up with Scripture, as a Christian, you throw it out. He wasn't getting it, you know?
Yeah, they're just not terra firma. Do they have a purpose as far as energy and what the sun does? Absolutely, I believe that. In the cyclical patterns in the sky and everything that moves, there is something specific to them. It's just you're not landing on them with a spaceship and going there. But could they have energy and properties as far as, you know, when you start talking about like the zodiac and the place where the sun is, when we observe the sky and we talk about the sky clock, yes, there could be some very interesting things along with what our sun gives us for energy that is going on with these, you know, as you like to call them, the 5 classical planets. I don't like that word planet, but looks like an orb to me of energy when I look at them with either, you know, a P1000 or a really good telescope, and very different compared to what we see that NASA with their CGI imagery shows us.
Yeah, that's speculation too, though.
Yeah. Well, talking about landing on, yeah, that is speculation. Yeah, talking about landing on those objects. What about the bedstead, the lunar lander that Neil Armstrong escaped with his life from when it crashed? You know, they didn't work it at all. No, none of the astronauts landed that thing. They all crashed it, and yet they want to tell us that they went to the moon now. There's no atmosphere, and yet they landed it perfectly 6 times. Yeah, never been there before. No air, no medium. Vacuums, they don't work in a vacuum. Those rockets and those thrusters, as they call them. You know?
Even better still, a vacuum don't exist.
Yeah. Can't prove that, can we? It's what we're told.
And what's weird with my cousin is he's been in a lot of movies. He's written a movie called Pounds where he won an award for at what do you call it? Those film festivals, right? And he understands everything to do with directing and making a movie. And I told him, so you know all of this and you can't see that that's a backdrop? The moon landings? You really think that is that's a reality? I mean, come on, use your knowledge of movies to know that it's a backdrop.
Well, whilst we're on the subject of movies, I think Stanley Kubrick's movie 2001 has been indoctrinated into the Hall of Fame, together with this Japanese dude who did the Godzilla and some other animation. The first Japanese to be inducted into the Hall of Fame last week. Okay, that was it that I tried to remember. Yeah, that.
He was telling me something about, but that Stanley Kubrick interview is not him. That's been debunked. I don't know what he's talking about. I said, I'm not talking about no interview that he had. I'm just telling you the few little tidbits that are in freaking The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining. Yeah, that's peppered with clues from start to finish. So from the very beginning, right at the very beginning, it's referring to Apollo. And as you look through, you see the Apollo rockets, those totem poles. You see the luggage. The luggage, they said, could never have got into the Beetle, in the lobby. That refers to the Saturn rocket not having enough fuel to get them to the moon. That's what that was all about, right? You see the little boy playing on the carpet. Danny, his name was in the film. And the carpet pattern is the exact shape as launch pad A39 in Cape Canaveral, okay? And then he stands up with the Apollo rocket on his jumper, as if the rocket's taking off. Yeah, why would you put all that in a Stanley? Was it? No, in a Stephen King psychological horror movie. What's that doing in there?
Yeah. And what about Room 237?
Yeah, the distance to the moon. Yeah, supposed distance to the moon. Yeah, exactly. There were so many references right away from the start to the finish. So, there's something in that. Stanley Kubrick did take part. He left it in the movie. Confession. And if you look at Apollo 11 and you compare it to the 2001 A Space Odyssey, even the title Odyssey is a clue, they said. But you see similarities.
Matthew Modine was on a panel with him, and somebody asked him a question: what was it like to work with Stanley Kubrick? And he gave a story of when they were done with Full Metal Jacket. He asked Matthew Modine, he goes, "You're gonna miss me?" So Matthew Modine came up with the generic answer. "Yeah, of course, it was an honor to work with you." He said, "No, you know when you're gonna miss me? When you're on your next set and the director says, 'All right, we got it,' and you know that you didn't get it." That's that perfectionist Stanley Kubrick was. He goes, "That's when you're going to miss me."
Yeah, because he was considered a perfectionist, and he'd have you do that role 300 times if necessary to get it right.
That one wall scene was, I think, a month or 2 weeks, something like that, for that one shot. Right?
There you go. Yeah.
He said, when you know as an actor that you did not get it, but the director says, "Wrap it up, we got it," that's when you're going to miss me, boy.
Somebody made a comment that there was a lot of work, not much filming going on, but a lot of work. Well, the reason why there wasn't much filming going on in Stanley Kubrick's case, because he wanted to make sure that was perfect from you. So you had to keep doing it.
I didn't realize the hard time he gave Shelley Duvall a really hard time. I thought she was great in it, though, if you watch the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good, but he gave her a hard time.
Yeah, she broke down and cried several times. Yeah. And even Tom Cruise in the final film that he made called, that was Stanley Kubrick's movie, The Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, Tom Cruise was doubting his ability, he said. The amount of times he had to do it over and over again. I laughed. And he said that. I thought I couldn't act, he was saying. Oh. Yeah, he broke his actors, didn't he, Stanley?
Yeah, he wanted it perfect.
Yeah, but he made some great films, Remember,
he was not that many either. If you look at it, what's his count? What did he got? Maybe 10?
13.
13, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 13 great movies, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, what does a Clockwork Orange fall under? What category is that?
It's not Stanley. That's Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what does it fall under? Science fiction? Future fiction? What does that fall under? Like the title?
Modern culture? Gina, yeah.
Which movie are you asking about?
A Clockwork Orange.
Orange.
Psychological thriller? No, it's not a thriller.
It's definitely psychological.
Yeah. Psychological mayhem. That's what it was. Yeah.
Psychological trauma.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, thank you.
Apparently, I just looked it up. It's classed as a dystopian crime film.
All right, well, there you are. Thank you.
Dystopian crime film.
Yeah.
How does this mic sound? This is my globe mic.
Does anyone try?
It doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound good?
Oh, no.
All right.
It's got the buzz in it.
Got this one's buzzing.
It sounds a little muffly.
Oh, great. Okay, I'll try a different one. I've got 3 of them.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's not good at all.
Yeah, it's got like a buzz in it.
Yeah, it's like you've got a muffle, like a sponge over it, and then you've got the muffle with it. So it's just no good. It's dampened and it's buzzing. No good. There's no sharpness to the sound at all. It's like you're talking through a pillowcase.
Well, this one.
Sound like Eli.
This is 2 of 3. What's this one like?
No good. Similar.
Exactly the same.
Same. Maybe a little bit worse with that buzzing.
Well, hold on. Give us like a whole sentence.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley.
Oh boy, that's not a good one, Nathan.
No, you're talking through some handkerchiefs there.
Mic number 3. What's this one like? Check 1 2. Testing 1 2 3.
Similar.
The other ones.
Are they all the same?
Yeah.
They all sound
all
the
same. Sir. All the same.
All rubbish.
All rubbish. You're not going to be able to use those.
Yeah, we can't hear that English accent coming through sharp.
Yeah, it's not coming through sharp at all. Exactly.
Well, they're cheap.
It's like you plugged in your guitar or something into your amp, and there's a buzz to it. So it's like there's a connection. Buzz.
Yeah. It's like a toy. It's like a toy microphone. What the kids would have had back in the 70s.
It's like a toy microphone.
Yeah, kiddies' toy microphone played into little kiddies' music amusement. Piano, drum, kids. It's no good. No good.
Does anybody have that guy, Rick Beato? He interviews all the musicians. Anybody subscribe to him?
No, I don't know the guy.
I know really good, man. Yeah, he's good, man. And he's an excellent musician as well. But he's got some really cool stuff on there. He's built a YouTube empire by interviewing musicians.
He's a sound engineer.
Ah, well, there you are.
His sound. He's a musician. He's got it all.
Yeah, but
and he's a great interviewer. The guy is really good.
But his day job is sound engineer, so he runs a studio.
Yes.
Yeah, I like watching him for stuff about microphones, and what I like best about him is the irony that he just doesn't get. So he'll say one of his videos, clickbait title, will be how to get here's my trick for getting the best sound out of a drum kit. You're like, oh, this will be like a hint, a tip on how to record drums really well. So you watch the video and he'll say, well, I'm just using this SM57 into this £3,000 preamplifier and then into my 20 grand desk in my 50 grand studio. And because I flipped the vase on one of the mics, you're like, what are you talking about? You got 20 grand on this snare drum. You know what I mean?
Still a great show. I love watching his videos.
Yeah, same thing with the drum kit itself. I remember thinking, I'll just look up how much that drum kit's worth. And the drum kit itself was worth like 10 grand. So in essence, his tip was, have the best possible drum kit money can buy in the best possible room money can afford, running through an okay microphone into the best possible preamp money can buy, into the best possible desk with a really good sound engineer that's being paid $200 an hour. Then you'll get a really good snare drum sound.
Yeah, I get you. But he said something about the Beatles. He goes, I'm gonna get this wrong. I always get it wrong. John Lennon's birthday was December 9th or November 9th. I was like, wow, he's totally off. October 9th? Is
that it?
Yeah, it's October 9th. He actually had Yoko Ono's labor induced. So Sean could be born on October the 9th as well. That's a true story.
Very good.
Yeah, he felt that there was something about the number 9 being the highest digit in the universe. After that, you go back to 1 or 0. But he thought there was something special about the number 9.
Yeah, so did Yoko.
And really, it was a number 5 that was relevant in his life and death. You asked me to elaborate?
Can you elaborate?
5 original Beatles. That was the start, because they had the Stuart Sutcliffe guy, and then 5 bullets to end.
5 bullets? What's that mean?
Yeah, you got hit with 5 bullets outside the Dakota.
Okay.
And it was only the last one that killed him. The other ones went right through.
It's always the way.
That one. Yeah, I was watching an interview with this doctor when they brought him in, and he had them confiscate everything, every piece of towel that had his blood on it, everything. He said he was massaging John Lennon's heart for over a half an hour trying to get it going again. But it was a fatality.
I watched an interview with Yoko Ono and John Lennon together being interviewed, and they were talking about overpopulation being a hoax. That would be in the 70s, 78, 79. Yeah. They said it was a hoax.
Of course it is.
It's interesting, that.
And from what I heard, now Eric Clapton was brought in. I said the story before. He was brought in to back up George Harrison on While My Guitar Gently Weeps, right? Because Paul and John were giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
Because of certain lyrics that said, I look at the world and I notice it's turning. And John was against that. He said, you don't notice the world is turning. So they were giving him a hard time on those specific lyrics. So what did John Lennon know?
Yeah. Oh, John Lennon was a very intelligent man. Yeah.
Yeah. Go listen to, is it Fool on the Hill?
There's another one. Only a fool on the hill sees the world spinning round.
Yeah. But the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round.
Exactly. There's got to be a fool on a hill. And only in your head do you see the world spinning round. Because we're stationary. I agree 100%.
I always wondered what did the Beatles know, because they said a lot of, they wrote a lot of lyrics like that. They had insight.
Yeah, there was a guy, I seen his video years ago when he went through all of them. I got to see if I can find it one day. I'll share it with you. It's very interesting, though.
So since we know that this is a flat Earth resurgence and not the first time flat Earth was popularized, who was John and them talking about? Like, how was that song received?
I think he was talking in general about everyone.
Hold on. There's been a debate about the nature of Earth for years and years and years and years and years and years and years.
Okay, but what does it, I mean, I'm not as old as you guys are. Like, when you hear the song, like, how did that translate to other people, the lyrics? Like, was it just like that song, I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly? Nobody thinks about it. It's just a cool song. Is it like that?
Yeah, they just wanted it in there. So in other words, they'll put it in there and they'll leave it for you. Just like the same way with the Paul is dead nonsense. They put the clues out there for a reason. To sell albums, because knuckleheads will be buying them to look for the clues where Paul was actually dead. You know who got the royal screwing though? Little Richard. It's a shame what happened to that guy, man. He wasn't making nothing on his records. Everybody else was, but not him. And he had guys with him, freaking what's his name? The mashed potato guy. I can't think of his name right now. He was the original moonwalking guy. Oh, come on. What's his freaking name? I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, where's he from? Is he American, British?
Yeah, American, the black guy. What the James Brown?
Oh,
James Brown was with him. He played guitar in his band. Jimmy was with him. He would buy the Beatles lunch before they were anything in Germany. They would run the tab on him. They loved Little Richard. They used to do his songs. And he'd never get any recognition, but he was actually the architect of rock and roll. I've seen just a few interviews of him back. I think it was Letterman.
Oh yeah, he was. He was definitely the originator. Little Richard, he was definitely. Did like his stuff as well.
Yeah, they all. Everybody did. They used it. But he told him, he said, "I'm not gay anymore." He said, "I finally know what you feel like," to David Letterman. Anyway, interesting character, but man, could he entertain.
Did you all catch the lyrics that Eli went through, by the way? It was Owl City, Fireflies. I'll just read them out. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake while I'm asleep, because everything is never as it seems.
And who is that?
Owl City. The song's called Fireflies.
From when?
That's recently. That's
2009.
recent years. Yeah.
Wow.
I like that. I like that track. Yeah, I like that track. And the other one where, we don't even have to try. It's always a good time. Same group, isn't it? Yeah.
I'd say they're on it. And when I mean they're on the ball, they're off the ball.
Yeah, it's another bit of their lyrics, right? Because they fill the open air and leave their teardrops everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. And then it goes into what I just said. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly.
Wow. Sounds like you're talking about gas pressure there.
Yeah, that's why I've always wanted to bring it up. But in my humble opinion, it was too loose to just randomly drop into a show. So I'm glad Eli's brought it up, because it's one of those that I've, like I say, never had the opportunity to talk about Owl City's lyrics from Fireflies. But now I have, because he quoted them.
Oh, I'm going to have to look into this. And this is a group?
Yeah, it's just a pop band, not that spectacular.
Yeah, but if they're writing lyrics like that, I'm intrigued.
How do people, you got to look, matter of fact, isn't the video so spaced out?
Yeah, that's how they get away with things like that. So often with Owl City, I remember thinking it at the time, this is really spacey. It's only after the fact, when you really study the lyrics. This is something I've taught my eldest daughter, because she's into music, but actually so is the younger one, but she's younger, that you need to listen. So the example I gave her was Grenade by Bruno Mars. When you listen to Grenade, it's in minor keys, but it's kind of uplifting and sounds like he's serenading someone almost, right? It's like a love song. It sounds like on the surface. But then when you actually listen to what he's saying, he's talking about a vicious narcissist that he's gone out with that hates him and is keeping him ensnared, right? So when it says things like, I'll catch a grenade for you, yeah? Throw my hand on a blade for you. You're like, this is actually quite disturbing. So when you study the lyrics for what they are, you realise that he's telling a very different story to how it sounds when it's sung. I mean, that's always the way. Bruno Mars is an exceptionally good lyricist, but, it's just another example where on the surface it sounds like, oh, this is an upbeat song, I could dance to this. But then you go back and listen to what he's actually saying and go, oh, God, he's talking about a real vicious woman.
Yeah, it sounds like the music, I told you this before, music has a language of its own. That's a very happy, dancey, the music is saying one thing, but the lyrics is contradicting it.
So so the question becomes, are they trying to tell us the truth or aren't they?
Well, if they come right out, they'll get mocked for being flat earthers. So they're leaving like little jewels for you to find to say, hey, we know the dirty little secret.
People that, because it's not the artist is the weakest chain in the link. Sorry to say, like, because if they didn't have the machine behind them to mass produce their music, to mass to get their music out there, if that infrastructure wasn't there, a good song would just die on deaf ears. So it's like,
yeah, but you gotta have a good song though.
So I'm saying these record labels, these people, like, I know they hear these lyrics. I can't imagine that they haven't argued about what we argue about. Like, so I'm just thinking, man, what, like, these people come out with these lyrics and those songs tend to be so massively popular. It's like, and it can only be that way if the people who actually had power wanted that to happen. Otherwise, the song will go nowhere.
Yeah, but they're hoping nobody catches on.
This gets sung. Obviously, when you hear it read, it's pretty disturbing. But black, black, black and blue, beat me till I'm numb. Tell the devil I said, hey, when you get back from where you're from. Mad woman, bad woman, that's just what you are. Yeah, you'll smile in my face, then rips the brakes out of my car. That's from Grenade. But when you hear it sung, it sounds really nice.
Yeah, the music is happy. The lyrics are vicious.
It works on children, but I understand. Actually, it works on me too. Like, so it's, but I can understand. Like, but it started from when I was a child. Like, how could I have heard such catchy songs back in the '90s? You remember "So Close"? Then we dancing real close. By Next, I think. I did not know that they were. I mean, that is a very nasty song. He's literally talking about don't dance so close or you're going to feel my poker. And it's like, huh? I don't remember that as a kid. I didn't remember that as an adult. I think my girl pointed it out to me. And I was like, oh, wow. You know, it's interesting that music does that.
So what do you want to say? Don't stand so close to my erection for your own protection?
I don't know the lyrics like all that great off the top of my head, but when you listen to it, it's like, what? This is literally a song about him having a boner.
Yes, same with Ghostbusters theme song. If you actually listen to Ghostbusters theme song.
I mean, I feel like I have, but what do I know?
Let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good. I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Oh, boy. I didn't catch that.
It's about sleeping with young girls. I'm going to go get the lyrics. One sec.
No way.
That's crazy.
Something strange in the neighborhood. Oh, my God.
Oh, boy. You got it now. There's a pedophile roaming around.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Oh, my God.
More like a peeping Tom, wanking off whilst looking through windows. Busting makes him feel good. Busting a nut.
We got it. We got it, Nathan.
If you're seeing things running through your head, who you gonna call? I ain't afraid no ghost. Ooh, I hear it likes the girls. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Yeah. If you've had a dose of a freaky ghost, baby, you better call Ghostbusters. Let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good. Don't get caught alone. Oh, no. When it comes through your door, it's just filthy. Unless you just want some more. I think you better call Ghostbusters.
Wow. I'm never going to hear that song again the same.
No, well, most songs I do it. I used to really annoy my wife because I'd get a new album, and on the it's actually a tape deck, but it would control the CD player in the back in a TT. It's got scan and skip, and the scan button meant you could go back 15 seconds and listen to the lyrics again. And I'd be doing it on a new song over and over again, so you do the same section. What did he say there? What's that word? What's he saying? And I'd want to know. I'd want to know the lyrics. I'd want to hear them and know exactly what the words were on all the songs. So, like I say, I'd get a new album, my wife would never get to hear it from start to finish for the first month of owning it, because I'd be wanting to hear what the lyrics actually said.
Well, if you had lyrics that said, we ate the bread, we drank the wine, everybody was having a good time except you. You were talking about the end of the world. What would you think that is?
Somebody very depressed. The you in the story.
Well, it's actually a song from Judas's point of view. And in the end, he says, waves of regret, waves of joy. I reach out for the one I tried to destroy. Talking about the Last Supper, everybody was having a good time except Jesus was talking about the end of the world. It's a song by the resurrected Judas, but it's actually Bono.
An invisible man sleeping in your bed. Who are you going to call? Filthy, isn't it? When you actually listen to the lyrics of most songs, they're like that. There's a black woman on TikTok and YouTube Shorts that sits in a car. She's like my age, mom age, right? And she's just sat listening to old songs from the 80s and 90s, but she'll break out the section of the song that's filthy, like really depraved. And she'll be like clicking her fingers along to it, smiling, and then she hears the disgusting bit, and she like looks up and to the left and is like, what? That's just her whole shtick. Just listening to old 90s and 80s songs, realising how disgusting and depraved they are. Brilliant. I'll send you a clip.
Yeah, there's another a woman that does rap lyrics. I don't know if it's the same woman, but she does rap lyrics, and she points out that all of our favorite songs are very predatory. Like a direct violation of underage women.
Yep, that's probably the same woman, because that's what she's pointing out most of the time. Like, all these songs are talking about going after young girls.
What do you mean? Like, you're 16, you're beautiful in your mind?
Yeah.
Worse than that.
Much worse.
I've heard so much worse.
What about that one song? He starts out with, she's just 16 years old, leave her alone. You say... I forgot the guy who sings it, but it's a really good song. A lot of soul to it. But he's speaking about a young girl.
Well, what about musicians who married young girls? Like, was it George Harrison and what's his name, Phil Collins? Left his wife for a younger woman, 16-year-old.
Yeah, that's very wild. That's wild. Even in movie clips, you got a Baby Boy with Tyrese. If you do the math on, that when they had their kid, he was 15, she was 20. Why would you do that? Unless you didn't see anything wrong with it. And I never noticed it. Who noticed? I don't know. But like just years later, someone's like, wait a minute. If their son is 5 now, and he's 20 now, and she's 25 now, and I'm like, oh, what?
Listen to this one. She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone, they said. Separated by fools who don't know what love is yet. But I want you to know, if I could fly, I'd pick you up. I'd take you into the night and show you a love like you've never seen, ever seen. That's a young girl he's talking about there, right? 16? It's like having a dream when nobody has a heart. It's like having it all and watching it fall apart.
Right, I found her. She's called That Twin Mama. THATTWINMAMA. That Twin Mama.
If I could fly.
Right, I'm gonna share this. Just give me a sec. How'd you share a video on TikTok? Bloody hell. Right, I think I've figured it out. I'm going to stick this in master beat and then I'm going to play the last few seconds of it because hopefully that won't be enough to get me a copyright strike.
Yeah, this is somebody different.
You know, the more I'm reading this song, this is what they told me when I first laid eyes on my wife, when I seen her in church. My brother said, what are you doing? She's only 16 years old. Actually, that wasn't the case. Okay. She was almost 17 years old.
So she was 16.
A couple of weeks she would be 17. I didn't date her till I think a month before she turned 18 was our first date.
Right, I've queued this up so it's not enough of the song to get me a copyright strike, but the last lyrics that have just come are, how can I be in love with you? And then it's this, right? Ready? Oh, bloody hell. Why is it not giving me... I hate TikTok. Why is it muted? Oh, there we go. You ready?
A wife and 2 little children depending on me too.
How can I be in love with you when I got a wife and 2 children depending on me too?
Wow.
But it sounds so sweet when it's played as music, though, right? So yeah, that's That Twin Mama. I find it hilarious watching her react to these songs. She's bopping away in her car, like, you know, cute mom dropping everything to listen to this song, and then what? What did he say? What? Brilliant.
Yeah, because music itself has a language. Popping along nice, and then all of a sudden you read the words, it's like, huh?
I'm going to round out on that now. I need to test some microphones. So with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. Check out That Twin Mama. You can see some other reaction videos from her. Awesome that she is. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.